Hi there, IELTS students. This is Ray Connors. I'm sometimes called the IELTS Terminator. Why? Because students who take IELTS with me don't come back to study again, because they succeed the first time. There's a lot of crap around IELTS, a lot of lies. You can blow away your IELTS blues with fast-paced lessons with me, the IELTS Terminator. Guaranteed. We'll talk about the crap shortly. I've had many years teaching IELTS in Vietnam and teacher training in Malaysia. I also have been online teaching IELTS to Russia, Spain, Brazil, China, France, Germany, etc. A lot of places. Okay, so why should it be good? There is a problem with IELTS, a terrible problem, a disgusting problem actually. There is too much study for a very poor result. So why should that be so? We all know that happens. Why? Why should it be so? Okay, here is the story. Here is why this happens. Students are expected to study a lot about the English language before they can take IELTS. Why should they have to study so much English? So the language centers get rich. That's why. And knowing a lot about the English language before you can take IELTS is crap. That means it's a lie, right? A little background. A new approach. Here's a new approach. When I first started teaching IELTS, many years ago, it became apparent that IELTS is not really a test of English at all. It is a strategy. Of course you must know some English. But let me say this another way that might hurt. The secret to blowing away the IELTS is to understand the strategy, not the language. With limited English and average intelligence, you can ace the IELTS exam. Over time, I developed a completely new approach to smashing the IELTS test. And the good news is that it works. It works very, very well. It sure does. I tried out my theories online with Russians, Chinese, Brazilians, Spanish, Japanese, and many more people. Vietnamese, of course. The results were nothing short of amazing. Amazing results. People who had tried many times to get IELTS scores and were flopping were suddenly returning even better scores than they had hoped for. There are a lot of testimonials to bear this out too, and I'll show you just a few shortly. Some were even people who had not had much prior knowledge of English, and they were scoring IELTS scores, proving my point that IELTS is a strategy, not a command of English. Like I said, you must know some English, but you don't have to be an expert English speaker to do well in IELTS. With only average English, a good IELTS score can be achieved if the student is shown how, and that's what I like to do. Okay, here are just a few testimonials from I received the acceptance letter from the university I'd applied. Thanks for your help. Down here, thank you so much, Ray. Lessons were valuable. My score, 6.5, 5.6, 5.5, 5.5. And this is from a person who had had absolutely no experience of English or IELTS previously. How about this lady from Brazil? I passed in the exam. Of course she passed. Everybody passes IELTS. Even if you just write your name on the paper, you'll get a band score of 1. Look at this, overall band score of 7 on her first attempt. Her very first attempt. More. It was an amazing class today where I felt confident in speaking. I appreciate your help and guidance. God bless you. And here's somebody right in the background there, or here's the test date, etc., etc., etc. Without your instruction, I could never have managed the time and blah, 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 blah. Okay, thank you very much. My good student from Vietnam, Sam. I scored 7.5. Well done. Thank you very much. A few more recent comments. I took a course in IELTS strategies with Dr. Raymond Connors. I was very pleased with the style of construction and his easygoing manner. I scored overall a band score of 8 using the techniques I learned. I am very happy with that. I recommend Dr. Ray if you want to prepare yourself for this difficult exam. Thank you very much, Dr. Ray. God bless you. Ilya Skrebneva. This was her first attempt at IELTS. She scored 8s. Hello, Ray. I received my results today. Average 8.5. Overall 8. I could not get 8 in speaking, even though I was pretty confident, thanks to your lessons. But I am happy. I am thinking about remark for speaking. I'm not sure I could get it. Okay. And this lady here, Rybakova, Anna Rybakova from Russia. Look at that. Her first attempt. Her English was not great, but it was okay. This guy here, Alexei Glavinsky, he's from a little town called Tyumen in Siberia. He had never had any experience with English before. Very, very limited. And on his very first attempt, look at his scores. Overall, 6. It got him the promotion he wanted. By the way, Anna Rybakova was able to migrate to New Zealand, where she wanted to work. Jane from China. In my opinion, Mr. Ray is the expert teacher, blah, blah, blah. You can read that yourself. And a big thank you from the Vietnamese American Training College for my efforts in training students. This young lady here, Alianji Indi, Ray's a unique teacher, etc., etc. I don't want to blow my own trumpet too much, but these show that this works. Thank you so much, teacher. You're the best. This young lady was a doctor in Moscow, desperate to try to migrate to Australia. So she took my lessons in IELTS, and although her English was reasonably good, she was upper intermediate, it wasn't bad. Her results were unbelievably good. She is now my very good friend. She's living in Melbourne and working there in her field. Okay, so you can see now that this IELTS is surrounded by a lot of crap. Some crap about IELTS. You've all heard this if you are taking IELTS or thinking about it. Don't believe it. Here's what you hear. You need to study many courses to succeed in IELTS. Crap. These people that you have seen took something like 2 small courses with me. 20 lessons and 12 lessons. You must have a good textbook to succeed in IELTS. Crap. These people used no textbooks at all. None. We don't need textbooks to do this. Only language centers can teach IELTS correctly. Absolute rubbish. I have worked in them, and I have seen what they provide for their IELTS students. It is absolute pig swill. They offer it that way because it keeps the students coming back, and spending money. You don't need to do that. Don't waste your time. Don't waste your money. You have to take the exam many times to succeed. Utter crap. The people you've seen did it the first time. I have not had a student, not one, who has not scored better than they expected on their very first attempt. You have to be a good English speaker to succeed. Crap. We know that's crap. I am not clever enough to succeed in IELTS. Why? Are you a moron? Of course you're not. If you've got average intelligence and a reasonable level of English, I do keep mentioning that you must have some English, you can do very, very well in IELTS. And many people have proved it already. So stop wasting your time. Stop wasting your money. Talk to me, the IELTS Terminator. Here is my website, https://IELTS_Terminator.online. Write it down. Check it out. Take one of the courses I've got there. You will never look back. You won't be back.